Hey everyone, it's McAllen and welcome back to my channel. Ignore the weird setup. I am currently at a hotel in Chicago and I have some time by myself, so I thought that I would record a part 2 of my popular video, My Aunt is a Murderer. I did an interview with my cousin, who's actually blood related to Victoria. But unfortunately I did lose the videos. I don't know what happened to them. Maybe when I updated my phone they were deleted or something, but I don't know, so I apologize for that. I haven't been able to fully read Victoria's statement that she gave to the Ohio Supreme Court judge, but I have been exchanging quite a few letters between me and her. So this will kind of just be a little bit of a, I guess, chit chat, and we'll talk about it, and then I'll make like an official part 2, when I finish reading that statement, and hopefully get another interview with my cousin. So if you did not watch part 1, I highly suggest that you go watch that first, or else anything in this video is just not going to make sense to you. But for those who haven't watched it yet or may have forgotten, here's a little recap. So I am a criminal justice grad. I graduated from Pennsylvania State University last year, and my cousin's aunt is a murderer, and she's currently in prison in Ohio, serving her sentence for the murder of 2 people. It has been really difficult for me to think of what I wanted to say in this video and the update video. I do want to put a trigger warning before we really dive into this video. This video is going to contain talks of murder, self-harm, and sexual assault, and just a bunch of other things. After exchanging so many letters with Victoria, I have gotten to learn about her as a person, versus what is being said and what has been said by the media and people online. So I, in no way, shape, or form, no matter what I say in this video, I am not condoning the crimes that she has committed, nor am I saying that it was okay or that there was a good reason or anything like that, because I myself and my family, and she also knows what she did, was wrong, obviously. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of say that first before I get into it. From what I have gathered from family and from her statement piece is that she has been in and out of prison since she was 13 years old, and it had just been an array of things, from robbery, burglary, carjacking, theft, shoplifting, things like that. And like I said, she had been in and out of jail and juvie since the age of 13. So it was not really known, but it was suspected. But Victoria did confirm it to me that she had been sexually assaulted by her father and by one of her siblings. I do not want to bring in anybody else's names, only because I want to respect her privacy, and her choice to not publicly name them. So from a very young age, she was sexually abused by her father, like I said, and also physically and emotionally abused. She had told me that her parents were not very in her life, as a parent should be, and she felt like her parents did not really care about her and her brother. And she got into using drugs, and as a lot of you know, a lot of people that are addicted to drugs do a lot of criminal activity to obtain those drugs. So in my personal opinion, and it's very hard to explain why I feel this way, but in my personal opinion, just with taking my schooling into account and all these conversations I've had with Victoria and the things that I have read on her statement, I personally believe that the justice system does play a part in where she is at today, and not in a good way. The justice system did not help her at all. There were multiple reports of the children being sexually abused by the father in the household, and they didn't do anything about it. And when she would be released from prison or juvie, there was no rehabilitation. There was nothing to get her help. And I do believe that the justice system does play a part in that, and that they are part of the blame of where she's currently at. I really believe that there needs to be some kind of reform on the rehabilitation process, because when we are releasing these people back into society, there needs to be something more productive that works, that gets these people ready to be released into society. And I truly do believe that if she got the help that she needed, that these situations may not. She also does have some mental illnesses that she has been diagnosed with by many psychiatrists, even before she was sentenced and after she was sentenced and during the whole court process. So she has been diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. So I also believe that that had a really big effect on her actions that she decided to take. When speaking to her about the first murder of Randy, she had told me that the situation that had been said in the media was not the full truth and not exactly how she felt. She was pretty much abused by Randy as well. And all of this is in her own words. So I just want to clarify that to if any of Randy's family members are watching, these are in her own words. She had felt used by him, and that she almost felt like a prostitute for him or an escort for him. She never stated that it was against her will or that it wasn't consensual. I did not ask, but she did not clarify that part, so that is up to your opinion to form. She recently has been trying to overturn her death penalty sentencing. She said that she no longer wants the death penalty, and she would prefer to just have life in prison, and that she's still in the process of trying to overturn that to the courts. So when you take into account of being sexually assaulted your entire childhood and potentially your adulthood, being in and out of jail and never being rehabilitated, not being properly taught from right to wrong by your parents, having mental illnesses and disorders, and a system that's supposed to help you and protect you just completely fails you. It's really, really hard to sit here and call her names or say that she deserves to die. And it's just a very difficult situation, because when I first started like this series, in my first video, I knew nothing about her. All I knew was that she was in prison for murder, and I knew nothing about her. And now, learning more about her personal life and the things that she has gone through, it's very difficult to have such a strong opinion on what should or shouldn't be done or happening with her. I also want to mention about her second victim that she murdered in prison, which I did go over in part 1 as well. I did ask her about that, and she said that she feels remorseful and that she wants to reach out to his family and apologize to his mother, and said that he has done a lot of thinking about it and just feels awful for what he did. And I suggested to her, hey, write her a letter, try and give her a call. The only thing that you can do is reach out, but you can't expect a response or anything positive to come out of it. But I believe that by at least attempting to apologize, it's not going to change what happened. It's not going to bring her son back, but it may help her heal in some way. It may help her with forgiveness in some way. I can't speak for her because I'm not in that situation. I'm not sure if she has reached out to his mother. There hasn't been a response about that on her part. When interviewing my cousin, he made some very good points, and a couple of them that I do want to bring up. So he said that, with the media and online, is that people tend to forget that Victoria has a family too, and that her family is hurting too, and not in the way of we're hurting because she's in jail, in a way of we're hurting because of her actions, and that we also feel guilty, and we also feel absolutely horrible for the things that she has done. And a lot of people forget that, and it's hard going online and seeing people say horrible things about this person. And I get it, and I now understand both sides, because when I first was looking into this, I felt the same way that most of you feel, and that most people online feel, is this is a horrible thing that she has done, and she deserves everything that's happening to her. She deserves to die. She's a horrible person. And now that I have seen it from the family standpoint, it has just been very difficult. Another thing that he had brought up is that people call Victoria a monster, and he had made the point that anybody can kill. Anyone can be a murderer. Anyone can be sick. Anyone can make mistakes. And I thought that was something that I should mention as well. Once again, this by no means is us making excuses or condemning what she has done, but I did want to bring that point up. And Victoria has also told me about how hard it's been for her too in prison, that none of her family really talks to her, that her daughter wants really nothing to do with her. But what has been surprising for me is how understanding she is, in the sense of understanding why her family doesn't want to speak to her, why her daughter wants nothing to do with her. And she has told me that her daughter is better off without her in her life, and that she doesn't blame her, and it doesn't change the love that she has for her. Through the letters, I have found that Victoria is a very intelligent person, and she's very smart. My whole purpose of making this series and doing these videos is not to try and convert people to feel bad for Victoria, or to change their mind about the actions that she has made. The purpose of it is to just bring into the spotlight a lot of the things that hasn't been said, and a lot of the things that the media isn't saying. She invited me to one of her court hearings, and it's in a few weeks actually, and she said something really stuck out to me. She had told me the time and the date of this court hearing, and she said, but I wouldn't really rely on the time, because the judge likes to change the time the day of because they do not want outside media broadcasting the court. They only want the court appointed media broadcasting and making news statements about this case. So that's all that I really have. I'm hoping that in my next video I am able to read her full statement and to do an interview with my cousin and to just read off some of the letters that we have exchanged back and forth between each other. So I appreciate you so much for watching. If you have any specific questions that you would like me to ask Victoria, please leave them in the comments down below. Or if you just have any questions for me about this case or anything in general, or if you have any cases that you want me to cover, just leave me a comment. And if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. I will be updating this series as often as I can, and hopefully, potentially, doing some more unheard of or not as high profile cases like this one. I do have a couple ideas in mind of some cases I want to do. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or your evening or your night, whatever it is for you, and be kind to yourself. Bye.